Good afternoon, everybody. Professor Benny Gruen here, and in this video, I am going to discuss Uri Bronfenbrenner's ecological systems theory. Let's jump in. So who was Uri Bronfenbrenner? Well, he lived from 1917 to 2005, originally born in Russia, then he moved to the United States, was a famous psychologist, he studied in University of Michigan, and he developed the ecological systems theory, and he's rather well known for that theory. He spent most of his career teaching at Cornell University, and he played an important role in getting the Head Start program started. Interesting point, the name Bronfenbrenner actually means alcohol burner. Must have been some family ties to an alcohol distillery at some point. Anyway, Uri Bronfenbrenner. Okay, now I always like to ask the question whenever we study a theory in psychology, why? Why are we studying Bronfenbrenner's ecological systems theory? Who cares what he had to say? And one answer is that Uri Bronfenbrenner's theory, ecological systems theory, is very helpful for example, a social worker who's working with a child, let's say, and trying to help the child succeed. Maybe the child's having some issues. In order to help solve those issues, we look at the entire ecology, the entire background, different influences that are influencing the child, and we can address them with more of a holistic approach, and that's been found to be very helpful for social workers. And there's other answers as well, but that's the one we're going to focus on. Okay, so what is Bronfenbrenner's ecological systems theory? So you look at this chart, it kind of lays it out for you. You have the child there. The microsystem, think of the word microscope. We're zooming in. We're looking closely at the things that directly influence the child. His home, his family, his teachers in school. Okay. Now, the mesosystem is a little bit different, but very similar. It's a mess. I like to think of it. M-E-S-S, a mess, because it's two microsystems that are interacting. For example, the parent's relationship with the school. Each of those are a microsystem, but together, when they interact, that also influences the child. That's the mesosystem. For example, a PTA conference where the parents go to school, meet the teachers, that is part of the mesosystem. The exosystem is X, like exoskeleton, X like you may be outside of your home. Exosystem, X means outside, are things that are not in the child's direct environment. It's more indirect. Perhaps the father's place of employment, right? The son, child, or daughter might not go there, but what happens there certainly has an impact on the child. Moving up a little bit is the macro system. Maybe you're familiar with the term macro, like macroeconomics, right? Overarching ideas. The macro system are things like religion and culture, perhaps the laws of the land, things like that are more general. And finally, we have chronosystem, which is the final level, which talks about changes over time. And the next slide, we'll just delve a little bit more into that. So just a little hint here to remember the 5 systems. So first of all, micro, like I mentioned, think microscope, very small. We're looking directly at the child, things that interact directly with the child, the family, the parents, the school, things like that. Meso, like I mentioned, is a mess between two of the systems, like the PTA conference, the interaction between the parents and the teachers. XO means things that are outside. X, outside, like for example, your ex-boyfriend or ex-girlfriend who you threw out of your home. That's XO, exosystem, things that are outside of the child's direct influence, like the father's place of work, things like that. Macro, like we said from the word macroeconomics, overarching things, the religion and laws and things like that. And finally, the chronosystem, I like this. There's a picture here, King of the Titans from the Percy Jackson series. His name is Kronos. He's the main villain from the series. And Kronos, his ability is he's able to slow down and control time. Chronosystem refers to the time, things that happen over time. Now, just a quick example, like, let's say COVID-19, right? When COVID came, a lot of things changed. In fact, this video is probably a result of COVID-19 when things started going more remote. So that's just an example of something that could change over time, or perhaps someone's parents get divorced. That would be an important piece of a chronosystem where there were things that happened till divorce, and now things are happening post the divorce. Now, on this image here, I just made a quick mnemonic that I really like to use. That's Mighty Mouse. Maybe you know that character, maybe you don't. I definitely grew up with him, so I'm very fond of Mighty Mouse. And Mighty Mouse is exploding a Muslim Kronos. And no offense to anyone who had, from the Muslim religion, the religion of Islam, but I just wanted to use Muslim, and you'll see why in a second. Okay, so Mighty Mouse explodes Muslim Kronos. Now, the mighty is microscope. The mouse sounds like meso, mouse, meso. Explode, exosystem. Now, I did Muslim because macro system includes things like religion. So I wanted a religion that starts with M. So again, Mighty Mouse explodes the Muslim Kronos. This guy in the background here is exploding is the Muslim Kronos. He's representing Kronos. Okay, again, Mighty Mouse explodes Muslim Kronos to remind you of the microsystem. Then they have the mesosystem, the exosystem, the macrosystem, and the chronosystem. Okay, hope this is clear. Sorry for my daughter making noise in the background. All the best. Take care.